Hi, my name is Brent Fisher, Managing Director and lead our technology practice at Riveron. Today, I'll share with you pillars of success around acquisition integration and complex transformation projects powered by NetSuite. As a backdrop on Riveron, we are a business advisory firm specializing in accounting, finance, technology, and operations. We serve private equity from pre-investment services through the acquisition of an asset, improving the operations of the portfolio company through the sale of the asset. Additionally, we serve the office of the CFO and enable technology like NetSuite to transform the business. In serving private equity and high growth companies and clients that are going through a change, our company sees high volumes of acquisition, a need to integrate these acquisitions into a common platform, complex change, a need for scalable solutions, and working with carve-out divestitures. We've taken this experience, lessons learned, and knowledge to best prepare acquisition integration and complex transformation. Riveron is an alliance partner with NetSuite. Collectively, our team has delivered across 200 projects with 100% success. We can leverage our team of 600 advisory experts, giving us in-depth around technical accounting, IPO prep, industry knowledge, advanced analytics. This allows us, when we talk about complex transformations on NetSuite or integrating acquisitions, we leverage that team for the best fit solution. Across the team of business, industry, and technology experts, we focus on the end-to-end business process and enable outcomes with NetSuite. As we worked with NetSuite, they have asked for our help in transformational projects or companies that are going through major change events, high-scaled growth, or through acquisitions. Some of the people that we've worked with at NetSuite have said, the value that Riveron brings is the speed of the go lives. There's no surprises, no need to worry when working with Riveron and NetSuite. The accounts that they have grow and the companies can grow with them. And they balance the complexity of projects with the change to users. So when we think about complex transformation, we have to have a different approach. The approach when you're implementing a simple migration, a startup company, or a company that's migrating, or upgrading to a new technology, that approach is different than when you're faced with a company that's growing through acquisition or that's had major change and they need to scale. So as we look at that, first, we want to combine comprehensive solutioning around all the business processes. So start from the beginning, quote to cash, the quoting process system, how the orders will flow into the system, procurement to payment to recording and reporting those transactions. A full end-to-end business process review is needed in these complex transformations that will allow for a scalable platform of growth. Additionally, you have to think in terms of how the process will flow versus a sometimes templatized approach of implementing an ERP system. Now, there are times where a templatized approach will work with implementing NetSuite. However, when you're thinking about complex change, events that are leading to high-scale growth, a different approach has to be used. So thinking along those lines, we adapt NetSuite to the best business process. Additionally, we find that dedicated project teams help reduce risk, both at the client side and the teams focusing on the project. Too often we've witnessed where a project team is working on an implementation, but they're working on multiple implementations at a time. We believe that having a dedicated full-time staff to your project or your transformation will set you up for success. Typically, the constraint is on the client and the customer. They have day jobs, they're continuing with the work that they need to do in addition to implementing a new product. So with that, bringing a full team together that can help alleviate some of the components that they have in their day-to-day operations. Additionally, the approach must tailor the implementation to fit the user community. A deeper understanding of what the users are going from and where they're getting to. For example, we worked with a manufacturing company that had been on systems for over 15 years. It was green screen. They were used to the keyboard and fast clicks. Changing to a web-based, cloud-based solution is going to have major impact on their ability to continue with the operations. So really thinking through the user adoption, the training that we'll need to go through. In addition, you must have rigorous project management and governance. Typically in these types of projects, there are multiple work streams, there's moving parts, and there's needed a coordinated effort, both around communication, risk mitigation, making sure everyone understands where the project is going. We like to say no surprises. Everyone needs to be informed of where the project is going, what risk and open issues that are out there. When you approach projects this way, you can expect a scalable platform. This will allow the ease of use of migrating multiple acquisitions without a redesign or reconfiguration. The idea of being forward-looking, understanding that the company will grow through acquisition, allows you to make different design choices of how you would set up the system. What you don't want to do is not think through all of those areas and have to come back and redesign or reconfigure the platform. A full end-to-end solution that is thought through will drive less disruption, more automation, and less manual processes or rework. This also allows high visibility to financial and operational metrics. Those are a few ways that we look at how we approach complex transformation in companies that are growing through acquisition. Through that approach, we believe it'll lead to 6 pillars of success. These 6 pillars of success in acquisition, integration, complex transformation are: 1, program governance. When you have the right program governance in place, everyone understands where the project is going, the goals are aligned, and the communication plan is in place. Through effective business process design, you'll have success because the critical piece to avoid rework, you optimize the platform for scale, and you understand where the future state is going. Integrated system and information. A single source of truth reduces errors and manual prone tasks. While NetSuite is at the core and at the heart of the application, you also need to think about the best fit solutions that might be integrated into NetSuite. For example, Salesforce might be the best solution or already the solution in place that is being used by a company that's being acquired. And those platforms need to integrate. Or there's multiple different ERP solutions. And as you're going through to get to them on one platform, which is NetSuite, you may need better BI reporting or a CPM solution that layers in on top to get you the financial and operational metrics that you're looking for. Advanced data and analytics. Really spending time to understand what are the key performance indicators for financial and operational reporting that you will need longer term. This focuses more on how you design the application, how you rationalize the chart of accounts, the hierarchy and the data structures. And this will lead to more self-service reporting and less reliance on creation of ad hoc reports and more visible at your fingertips of the structured data that you set up. Data migration. Oftentimes this is underestimated in the complex transformations. Whether that data is clean, what makes sense to migrate over or keep track of. The hierarchy, back to the reporting and self-service reporting, what is the hierarchy going to be in the new environment versus how you've always tracked things before? bad data in, you'll produce bad results, and bad data will come out. So spending time in this area will reduce the need for rework, but also will also set you up for the right outcomes that you're looking for. And lastly is upskilling people and capabilities, focusing the time to get the most out of the application with the right change management plan, the right testing, the right training, user adoption. We believe your people will be upskilled and really get the most out of the application versus using just a portion of it. Now we'll share a few examples of how these projects were completed and where the 6 pillars of success came in. Our first company, in this example, you'll see how the data analytics component, the effective business process design, and upskilling people resulted in 1, a scalable platform, 2, $6 million worth of savings, really by effective design and how they use NetSuite, and the visibility to expenses and transfer pricing that they didn't have before. The situation was a private equity firm had purchased a data center business. This came out through a carve out of a multi-billion-dollar company. With this carve out, the company had to stand alone as its own operating business. If you think through that, the company has to bring over the right people. They have to stand up the business from scratch of all business applications, HR, payroll, the ERP environment, the reporting, the CRM environment. In addition, setting up the right finance and accounting personnel and departments and the business process, coming from a shared service organization to a new organization that will operate independently. What we saw is this company had heavy reliance on a shared service model and a back office that was at the multi-billion-dollar company. And as it changed to be a standalone company, one example of the pillars was really upskilling the people and the capabilities. This is a massive change for the end user community to not rely on the shared service. We had to focus on adequate training for them, identifying the right people and putting them in the right seats that will help the company, succeed and move forward. Additionally, we helped with writing a job requisitions to hire the right people in this new organization. A few other pillars of success that stood out was around data and analytics. We had to understand the need for the long-term financial planning and analysis. We focused on the requirements of how they will be audited, the revenue recognition and 606 compliance. And through the business process design, we looked at standing up the company from scratch and redesigning it to have processes that fit the business of this size. Not all the processes that they had before made sense in a new environment. And layering in first purpose fit for their size, then it allowed us to set up NetSuite to really enable that and automate the process that they have. So this is an example of a few of the pillars that stood out to us as we looked at the complex transformation that they underwent. Our second example of how the pillars come to light is in a fast-growing family-owned business. It had grown through acquisition, and we're preparing for more. With these acquisitions, there were different businesses with different leaders in place. With that came different business processes. They were not all on NetSuite at the time. And the current platform that they had on NetSuite was unoptimized, would not allow them to scale and effectively move on multiple business onto the platform. This company was looking for the following outcomes. They wanted one ERP system. It made sense based on the types of business that they were to be on one platform. This would allow shared buying power with shared vendors and customers. It allowed them to set up distribution centers and different manufacturing sites that they could share inventory and processes in place and redesign to scale. So they were looking for one ERP platform. Additionally, they were looking to reduce some of the manual integrations and workarounds as the companies came together that they were doing. They wanted all the businesses on NetSuite. The starting business knew that it wasn't optimized to really grow with the larger business itself. So with that, we needed to look at what are the right industry solutions, what are the right add-ons to make the business grow. And above all, the company needed a roadmap, a timeline, and a plan in place and lead them through this massive change. At the core, one of the pillars that we've seen is program governance. It was first. How are we going to accomplish this with the goals that the company has in mind? Why? What are the responsibilities of each team members? What are the risks that we're facing? We first determined putting together Project Charter, the steering committee, and determining the roadmap for the execution. From the roadmap to the execution, we first focused on a parallel approach of optimizing the current NetSuite environment while understanding the business requirements for the first company that we were going to migrate on. We realized that the existing company that was on NetSuite had to be redesigned and foundationally fixed before progressing. What was in place today was not going to be usable for 5 more companies. So we worked through that with the future state design, understanding the future requirements of the businesses that will be added on. And finally, we needed integrated systems together, from the right architecture to vetting the right solutions that would add on, whether that's wireless handheld capabilities, automated purchasing through OCR, integrated with banking statements, et cetera. This really helped drive the integration to really help them grow and scale in an environment that's totally different than where they were before. So we see in this story multiple aspects of the pillars of success that we've laid out. That is all I have for you. I hope this time was beneficial to learn about how we see complex transformations and acquisition integration, and some ideas on where you can focus if you're going through that event. For more information, please visit our additional resources at Riveron, and thank you for visiting and the time today.